Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video we're looking at the new Marvel Legends Captain Britain, which is part of the Abomination wave of Captain America Legends. This guy uses mostly the Hyperion mold, but it's kind of like the best version of that mold we've seen. There actually are some issues that make it not as good, but most of it's hidden really well, and he does have some new parts on him. I kind of like this guy. I kind of hate to say it, but it's kind of a cool figure despite the fact that it's on that mold that I really don't like. So let's get him off the stand. I'll show you all the details and we can take a closer look. Alright, so he stands just about 7 inches tall, which makes him just under 18 centimeters, so same size as we've expected. And like I said, there's some really good things about this figure. The paint job is mostly really clean, the line work is nice, and it kind of hides that weird anatomy. The only instance where it doesn't really is the way we have these lower stripes down here coming around. It does look like that ribcage is kind of thicker and more round than it should be, but it's really not a big deal. It's just a very minor thing I noticed. Mostly, like I said, we have good paintwork. However, you can see that the blue on the torso doesn't really match the blue on the arms. It's pretty close. It's passable, but it's not great. The paintwork for the head, very clean, so I like that. You can see the little logos on the shoulders. That's also very clean. Overall, it's a really solid paint job. New sculpted parts include these forearms, obviously the head, and then we have the lower legs and the boots, which look really nice. And they actually painted the buckles. That's great. We got painted buckles, and they painted the belt buckle also. I like this guy. I think it's pretty cool. I like the head sculpt. It's nice. It's not like misshapen or anything, so that could have easily gone wrong, but it didn't. I like it. As far as the articulation goes, you can bring the head all the way back, all the way forward. It still does have that kind of sweet spot problem that the Hyperion mold has. If you bring the head somewhere, it'll snap back up. You have to kind of either snap it all the way down, or it will. Let's see if it's going to do it. I might have done it too far. Yeah, I found the sweet spot at the bottom. There's a gap there and a gap all the way up there. There's really no in between, but you can play with it and it'll probably be okay. It doesn't really lean side to side, but you can get the full rotation. Shoulders all the way out to the side, no problem, and obviously they go all the way around. With your bicep swivel, no problems. Double jointed elbow, pretty good range. The wrists have a swivel and a hinge. Hinge isn't that useful for fists, but you can get a little bit of style pose out of that, so that's pretty good. For the ab crunch, 2 clicks forward, goes really far down, and then couple clicks back, and he's all the way back. He still has that really weird sculpt for the abdominal section. These are really boxy and then flat above that, but at least the paint continues all the way up, so it could be worse. It's not terrible. We have our waist twist. The belt is floating, so it won't get in the way. Hips go pretty far out to the side, more than most figures these days, all the way forward. So unfortunately, despite the poor anatomy on this figure, the articulation's done fairly well. We have our thigh swivel, that's no problem. Double jointed knees, probably not the best range, but definitely good enough. We have a boot swivel at that new cut joint between the wrinkled pants and the boot, and then you can bring the foot not so far forward. It gets stopped by that buckle and the way they designed it, all the way back, and then you have your ankle rocker. So full range, pretty much no problem with the articulation, barely any problem with the paint. It's a really nice aesthetic design. I think the composition's really nice on this character design. And then for the figure, they pretty much nailed it. So despite the fact that it's on the Hyperion mold, I have to say I like it. They did a pretty good job, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it too. It's got a very nice shelf appeal. Look at those shoulders. It's still such a problem with that anatomy. I had to get it in there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos every single day, sometimes more than one, quite oftentimes more than one. So we're going to talk about figures, movies, TV shows, gaming, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you subscribe, and in the meantime, keep collecting.